Hey guys, so as you can see, we are in a new location today. We are by my back door here, and that is because I want to show you an updated DVD collection and storage / organization. I will link my old one up here. I was actually really proud of that one, and I lived in a smaller apartment then and didn't have like the space to really display all the DVDs that I wanted to, so I kind of had to have a smaller collection. As you can see here, we have some new shelving. I will link these shelves down below. They're the Atlantic herring shelves or something like that. You can get them on a lot of different websites. So now that we are all settled in and everything, and I finally have a curated collection, and my collection has definitely grown since my last collection video, I thought it was time to show you what this looks like. Obviously, I also have decor and other things, you know, throughout it. It's not just for DVD storage, so I thought you would like to take a peek. This is my plant Peter. Anyway, but before we get into this video, I just want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different types of inspiring classes for creatives. You could explore new skills or strengthen your existing passions, or just get lost in creativity because they have an endless amount of creative classes. A class that I found really beneficial to me, and I'm so happy I discovered it, is called Creative Writing: Crafting Personal Essays with Impact by Roxane Gay. I'm actually writing a collection of essays, a kind of self-help book through essays, and her class helps with finding the reason why you want to share these stories, also doing personal research, and how to just go about writing it and revising it. Just everything that I need to know to make my personal essays as impactful as possible. Skillshare is meant just for learning, so there are absolutely no ads, and they're always launching brand new classes from topics on graphic design, video creation, even social media, entrepreneurship and freelancing. Anything you can think of that you would want to learn about, it is on Skillshare. So the first 1,000 people to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. After that, it's only around $10 a month with an annual membership. Okay, now let's dive deep into these shelves. This is going to be a lengthy video. I'm going to show you every single thing that I own. Just forewarning, my boyfriend's stuff is also on this shelf, so I'll show you that when we get there. But let's start at the very, very top of the shelves, shall we? As you can see, not only do I collect horror stuff, I also collect Harry Potter stuff, and I've done a whole video more in depth on my Harry Potter collection. It's not relevant to this video, so I'm not really going to go into depth on that, but I will link the full Harry Potter collection. It's all secondhand if you are curious about that at all, but obviously this place is the best spot to display my Harry Potter stuff as well as my horror stuff. So we have my wands. Love my wand collection. I have all my favorite characters here. Lego Night Bus. This was one of the most fun activities I did in quarantine, was putting together this Lego set. We have a geode, because I'm kind of spiritual. I like to have those around. This is actually a birthday present for my friend Allison, which is a VHS tape of John Carpenter's Thing Turned into a Light, which I think is so amazing. I've been trying to track down a Ring version of this, because obviously I think having a Ring VHS tape turned into a light would be so iconic. And then over here on this side, we'll start here. This is my skylight. So this turns my living room into the night sky, which is so beautiful. This is really popular on like TikTok and stuff like that, but I've had this for over a year now and I'm obsessed with it. This is amazing. This is my Midsummer Director's Cut copy. So it doesn't fit on the shelf at all, but it is so beautiful. Like the packaging and everything, that I just have to display it on my shelf up here. I'd show you a little bit of the booklet that it comes with, but I don't want to get demonetized. We have a smoky quartz crystal here, and then in this jar is actually all of my movie ticket stubs from the past like decade. So in this first category, each section holds 20 DVDs. I think I have around 240 of just my own DVDs. This light is flickering, it's really bothering me, so let me just turn that off for a second. Thank you. So this section is one of my favorite sections of all time. We have all of my space movies: Passengers, Life, Interstellar, Arrival, The Martian, Sunshine, 2012. That does not go in there. Annihilation, Gravity. Well, Annihilation takes place on Earth, so, well, so does Arrival. Anyway, spacey movies. I guess we'll just put this in because it's Apocalypse with Snowpiercer, I guess. I don't know. In fact, let's move some things around here. We'll just put those right in there. Okay. But these are like my top space movies. This is my space collection. I am obsessed with space dramas. Obviously, you already know that Interstellar is my favorite of all time. And then, of course, we have the Alien franchise here. I just have a whole set that has all 4. I don't have the newer ones on DVD. Fourth Kind, District 9, and then The Two Things and Armageddon. So here's like the little Alien section, I would say. Just like here. So I just felt like it should go in the space shelf. So this isn't like fully like organized or anything, but it's just like they kind of all fit together in a category. The next shelf over is what I like to call the franchise shelf. So we have the 3 Blair Witch movies, one of my favorite franchises of all time. Is it really a franchise if there's only 3? Sure, why not? And then we have, of course, all the Saw movies, all the Final Destination movies, all the Paranormal Activity movies. Those 3 are like iconic early 2000s franchises. I have to own all of them. And then we have 4 Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. We have the original, which this is actually like a special edition set that I got secondhand for $10.99. Great deal. It's the 2-disc Ultimate Edition. If you want to pause and read what's on them, there you go. And then I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which is one of my favorite sequels of all time. I have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake, and then the beginning. This section, I think by looking at it, you can tell has some of my favorite movies. I have the Ring franchise all right here, which I'm still missing Ring 3 from the trilogy of the Japanese original version. But otherwise, this is my entire Ring collection, which I actually have a little shrine of the Ring in this shelf right below it, which I'll show you. So those are some of my favorite movies. We have my Stephen King section, so that is all right here, which I still have some Stephen King movies throughout. You'll see later in my collection, but this is like the iconic, some of my favorite Stephen King movies. The M. Night Shyamalan section, I think it's pretty bold of me to put it with my Stephen King and Ring collection, but I do really like M. Night Shyamalan, and I really like these 4 movies from him. And then the last 2 spots I had extra on the shelf, and I had to put only top tier movies up here. So I put Gretel and Hansel and Starry Eyes, which are 2 of my favorite movies of all time. So I knew that those had to go up here with my Ring collection and everything like that. So let's just get into my little shrine. I do want to replace these puck lights and do like something else. In fact, they have like these little remotes and I can change the colors. So let's put it on blue for the Ring, shall we? So this isn't just Ring stuff. I want it to be one day. I just have like this little Jason thing figure that comes off. I got this in PR, as I did with my Michael Myers flask that also came in PR. But this is the goodness. This stuff is so amazing. What isn't in here is my script for the Ring. I have the original signed script. I mean, it's not originally signed. It's a reprinting a copy of it, but it's one of my favorite things that I own. I got a Polaroid from Depop. There are actually accounts that will make Polaroids custom if you want. I got my friend a Jennifer's Body one, so you can just find these on Depop for really, really cheap. I think this was like $3. Of course, I have the Ring on VHS. How could I not? This print is so amazing. It's by my friend Alana. She is actually going to be selling these prints. I don't know if they're going to still be available because I think we've already announced it by the time this video goes up. But if you want to purchase one of these prints, I will have a link to her Etsy store down below. You'll see another one of her prints later in my collection. I'll show you. And then the last thing that I have in here for my Ring shrine is a film cell from the actual movie. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see, but it is from the scene of her crawling out of the well. I got this on Etsy as well, and I just love this little piece. I think it's so unique and such a cool find, and just like completes my collection. Moving over to the left of my Ring shelf, we have what I consider to be the gorier or more intense kind of horror movies. So, I mean, there's exceptions in here, but these are just generally how I organize it is by theme or like genre or something. But like Evil Dead Test, Cabin Fever, those are all pretty messed up gore wise. Same thing with like Wolf Creek and Last House on the Left. Pretty, you know, intense movies. Same with Inside. So these are just kind of more generally disturbing, or at least gory. They're not all disturbing. Like Sorority Row, obviously not really disturbing, but it is on the more gory side, so that's why it's chilling in here. We also have Battle Royale, which is one of my newer movies that I have added to my collection. This is such an underrated, like, cusp early 2000s movie that is so good. Shrooms, also super cheesy early 2000s movie. This was originally from Blockbuster, so I love this in my collection. It's weird how this light is not flickering in person, but it's flickering on the camera. I'll also list these puck lights that I got from Amazon down below. So this is my Harry Potter shelf. This is just some of the things that I own. Like I said, if you want to see a more in-depth of my collection, I will link that video. But these are just some of my favorite things. This is the newest find, the Helga Hufflepuff cup I found on Depop. I love it. It's like really metal. These glasses here are actually the original 3D glasses that I wore to the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So one thing about these shelves, as you can see with this gap right here, my floor is actually crooked, and I have to figure out a way to fix that because it like leans to the side, and sometimes it really bothers me. It's only this one. It's like on this part of the floor is like really crooked. Anyway, here we have my water section, which is one of my favorite genres actually. Which I need to expand my collection and get Jaws and all that kind of stuff, but I love a good water movie, like a movie that takes place in the water. We have 47 meters down. Triangle, of course, you know, is my favorite water movie of all time. We have The Shallows, Open Water, and my newest water movie edition is Crawl. And sometimes when I order secondhand movies online, which is how I get a lot of my movies, is secondhand, they often come like this with like stickers. It's like on the inside. That's the risk that you run when you order secondhand movies online, which I kind of like it. It gives it personality. Sometimes it'll show like what library it came from. Like this says Doherty County Public Library, which I think is really fascinating. I don't know. Next we have my zombie collection, which is all of this. It's not my favorite genre. If I'm gonna watch a zombie movie, I want it to be like really original, and I feel like these ones are pretty original. There's like different causes to the zombie in all of these, so I don't have anything that's like repetitive or anything like that in my collection, in my opinion anyway. And then this is more franchise movies, but only ones that have a single sequel to them. So we have 10 Cloverfield Lane, Cloverfield, obviously. We have Silent Hill and Silent Hill Revelation, which I honestly really like this movie. I don't even care. Is it really kind of bad? Sure. Again, Pierce County Library. Why did they have this in their library? That's very interesting. Woman in Black, Woman in Black 2. I don't know why I own this one still. Do I get rid of it if I don't like it? I don't know. Haven't even opened it. VHS Viral. So that's kind of what this shelf is. A little bit of movies with just one sequel that I own, and then zombies and water. So those franchises do continue here. So we have Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2, and then Last Exorcism Part 1 and 2. So that's kind of the end of, you know, these like only single sequel movies. This section is a little bit more thriller, so there's really no gore in any of these movies. They're definitely more like psychological thriller movies. We got some Leo DiCaprio movies in here. I guess It Follows has some gore every now and again, but like 1 Hour Photo is one of my favorite thriller movies. My copy is so like gross and messed up, but this is one of my favorite ones. Like Robin Williams in this is so creepy. The Glass House, Identity, two really underrated thriller movies. Escape Room, one of my comfort movies, and the sequel's coming out soon. I cannot wait to own that. Oh, and probably my favorite movie on this shelf is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Like, this movie is just so good. So these are like movies that I would recommend for beginners if you're curious, or, you know, just ones that are a little bit more on the psychological side than super gory and horrific. And I'm not gonna lie, this one's kind of all over the place. Again, no real like really bad, well, there's some gore and mirrors. I don't know. This section is kind of, I don't know where else to put it, or it can't really fit in the other shelves because I prioritize those movies. Haunting of Molly Hartley's in here though, which is one of my favorite movies, obviously. But Mirrors is one of my most recent buys. I bought it before ever seeing it because I was convinced that I would really like it, and I generally really do like it actually. But this is, yeah, just all over the place. It has thrillers in here like Red Eye and White Noise. There's a classic of John Carpenter's The Fog. It's just kind of random. I have my Insidious trilogy in here. That should probably go in the franchise shelf, but again, I can't really fit it on that shelf, so it just kind of hangs out down here. I guess these kind of have something in common, you know, it's kind of, you know, religious horror in a sense. Okay, so we're kind of stemming away from horror now. There's still a little bit more to go. Well, it's kind of. But this is the shelf right below the shelf we were just on, and this is my favorite non-horror movies. So we have all of the Hunger Games franchise, which these are all new to my collection, and I absolutely love the Hunger Games franchise. We have Divergent. I only really like the first movie, but anything YA dystopian is so good to me. Like, I love it. it. Hotel Rwanda is one of my favorite non-horror movies. Same with Patch Adams, like come on. More Robin Williams. This makes me cry every single time. It's just so good. But my favorite one on this shelf is Downsizing. This is a new one from the Cleveland Public Library because I bought it secondhand on Thrift Books. Again, that's just what you get sometimes when you order stuff online. But Downsizing is one of my favorite movies of all time. As you guys know, Matt Damon's one of my favorite actors of all time. So I just love anything that he's in. Devil Wears Prada is probably my most watched movie probably ever. It's one of my comfort movies. And then we have some like random dramas. We have Day After Tomorrow, The Revenant, Fargo. Those are really good, but just kind of, you know, obviously non-horror. Girl Interrupted, Clueless, Bring It On. Again, amazing, just go-to movies for when I'm in the mood for non-horror. So this shelf here I like to have as my new shelf. So I'll often put movies that I just recently got on this shelf. And so these are all pretty new and ones that I'm excited about. I'm finally starting to collect the Lord of the Rings movies, so I found these two at Goodwill and knew I had to get them. Elysium, Matt Damon, cheesy, kind of weird, but really good. Dread is one of my favorite movies. I love this movie. It's just so like comforting to me. I don't know what it is. I love anything kind of dystopian and action-y, so that one's really good. Noah, you guys know I just talked about that one. Here we have one of my peperomia plants just chilling in here, and then back there is the other print from Alana. She did the ring one, and then she sent me her Saw print as well, which is so gorgeous. It actually matches the color scheme in our house, so I cannot wait to frame this and display it somewhere. Here is my Harry Potter shelf. I have all of the Harry Potter movies on Blu-ray, which all of these come with a documentary with them as well that is like an hour long and a lot of like behind the scenes stuff and deleted scenes, and then the first two have the extended editions, so I like to have those. And then this is my original copies of the DVDs that I've had for so long, so I can't get rid of them. I still love a good old classic DVD moment, not always a Blu-ray obviously because I don't really collect Blu-rays, but I will get to my Blu-ray collection. It has grown a little bit. So yeah, Blu-rays and DVDs of all the Harry Potters. I have both Fantastic Beasts here, which are arguably not as good, but I still have to have them. I still like it. It's Hufflepuff representation that I don't get in the movies really. And then these are just my like cardboard case movies, but still amazing. I love all four of these so much, especially 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill. These are some of my favorites in my collection. Okay, my tripod is now too tall, so we're going handheld. Sorry if it's a little shaky. I'm gonna try my best to keep it nice and still. This is my Christmas shelf, so we have all my favorite Christmas movies that I watch pretty much every single year that aren't horror. These are like my go-tos. And then more non-horror stuff that's just kind of like random for me to have. I don't know, Hot Chick is one of my oldest DVDs in my collection. Willy Wonka, I just recently got The Mummy. I don't know why, I just felt like watching it one day and I was like, I wouldn't mind owning it. Dead Poet Society, more Robin Williams. We have some movies in here that we actually found in a dumpster. I don't know if I ever explained that to you, but like Book of Eli was in a dumpster, like Gatsby was in a dumpster, and ironically they went to the same place where I got a lot of my DVDs, so it has like the same sticker, but yeah, someone just threw away like all of their DVDs. Like Wolf of Wall Street was in there randomly, so we just took like a fat stack of all the DVDs out of the dumpster. Okay, now we're in Ryan's territory. These are his Xbox One games. I asked if he would care if it was on video of what games he owned, if you wanted to judge his taste. I'll show you the ones that I've played with him. We just finished Little Hope, which was actually really good. The ending was so good. The Evil Within 2, love that one. Resident Evil 4, it's pretty good. We're trying to beat that. Resident Evil 7, of course, Biohazard. This is one of my favorite games ever. It's so good. And then obviously we're playing Harry Potter Lego collection together. This is like one of our favorite activities. We just get some White Claws and play Harry Potter Lego. It's so fun. And then over here we have Alt Might chillin'. A lot of people question if I watch My Hero. I don't. This is Ryan's figure. This is Ryan's figure. But yeah, he just hangs out with our stuff. These are just like, I don't know where else to put you. These three are like cardboard slips, which some of the other ones are as well, but they actually have to like fit in a category, like, you know, Catching Fire has a cardboard case, but Yeah, these are just kind of random, not really sure. I guess I'm starting a new section here because this is the only other shelf that is empty besides my new shelf up here. And then this is one of our ocarinas. We actually have two ocarinas. We have this one and a Game of Thrones themed one. And then below that we have Ryan's movie collection, which some of these I really enjoy as well. Dunkirk, Reservoir Dogs, Schindler's List is actually my movie, but it just fits so nicely in there. But otherwise, these are pretty much just his movies. He has Evangelion in here, which is such a weird anime. Again, more continuing of Ryan's stuff. These are his 360 games, because he still has a 360, but some of these can be played on the Xbox One, like I think Catherine can, so sometimes we play that. The Road is actually on a Blu-ray, but it's on this like really weird Blockbuster Blu-ray case. It's like a DVD. It's interesting. Finally, we are here at the bottom, the very last section of my DVD collection, and these are actually all of my Blu-rays. These are some more cardboard cases. We have the Harry Potter DVD game that's like interactive. This is Shutter Island that doesn't have its original case. I don't know where it went. I've just always owned Shutter Island like this. Parasite I actually bought on 4K, not knowing I can't play 4K on an Xbox One, so I need to put this in a giveaway, I think. If you guys are interested, I will give this to one of you. And then my Blu-ray collection. Some of these are PR, some of them are ones that I've purchased, but we have some really amazing ones. Terrifier, we have The Conjuring, Interstellar, of course, on Blu-ray because I have to have it on Blu-ray as well. Snowpiercer as well. That's another one that like can be seen on Blu-ray and it actually be improved. So there you have my updated DVD collection and storage video. I hope this was interesting for you to take a peek into my entire collection. Hopefully you can like pause and look at all the shelves that you want to instead of me just like reading out every single one like I did in the last video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what is your favorite movie that I personally own in my collection, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.